his mobile. Basically, we know that when we are sitting at office, we'll be feeling that yes, we are in the office. So when he has got the call, he just connected the call and started talking. Unfortunately, what happened, his mic was on, and the other participants were able to listen whatever he was talking. And it created such a problem to him because it was so confidential, the call, but unfortunately he was not able to keep that confidentiality. So it gives me a learning that whenever we want to attend maybe our personal or official calls or duties, please make sure that your mic is on mute. Right. So we will start. So basically, we know that especially when we talk about developing e-content or e-resources in science, we know that how much we are able to prepare the e-resources, e-content preparation. We know there are n number of maybe content authoring tools available, and there are different types of resources possible. Generally, we use the kind of resources basically text, images, video. Even some of us might have mastered OBS or Camtasia or Screencastify, Screencast-O-Matic, those kind of screencasting software, because it's very easy to have a PowerPoint, because almost all of us are very good in preparing PowerPoint. So PowerPoint presentation we will run, and meanwhile we'll go for a screencasting, so that we will be able to prepare a video very easily without knowing any other technical details or technical specifications. Or we may have a digital camera or the mobile camera. Using that also we will be able to prepare the video. Other than this, maybe now I know that this pandemic has given us an opportunity to prepare audio content also. But most of the time, I have seen, especially science teachers, they will say that in science, what kind of audio content does it have a scope? I don't know how exactly you feel, but I could understand from a senior most professor of physics from JNU. He was telling that his students and he himself is much fond of audio resources, that too in quantum mechanics. You can just think of, because quantum mechanics by nature itself is so mathematical and derivative in nature, but still he could see that audio resources can do a lot. And quantum mechanics paper 2 in PG level, he was depending more on audio files, and he himself trained on Audacity, preparing a lengthier audio file and cutting into small pieces and sharing. So other than this, what other resources we are making use of? One is animation. Most of the time, we may not depend on animation. And I know like Burjin sir and all, very good in preparing animations using some of these simple softwares like stop motion, or even using PowerPoint also you can prepare, or using open board softwares or interactive whiteboard softwares you can create animations. So there are different, but most of the time the teachers feel that I don't know how to prepare an animation, therefore I won't use it. Another set of resources is simulations. That also most of the time science teachers not interested in using, because the question is do I know to prepare that? So basically, when we talk about resources, the first question the teachers ask, I don't know or do I know to prepare it? So that is where maybe I'll just start with this. Teaching learning resources in whatever format, in whatever platform you're talking, there are two ways to look into. One, those resources which are readily available. Now in different states, I know that we are into the process of developing the repositories. Especially NROER, almost all of us know. On the line of NROER, in every state, there are initiatives to develop the open educational resource repositories. But the second part is, it can be likely to be available also. It need not be readily available. It can get evolved during the teaching learning process. So let us keep that in our mind. Why I am putting that? We can share to our teachers that don't worry about if the resources are very less or I don't have any resource. Don't worry about that. Or I don't know how to prepare the resources. Don't worry about that. We are all here. Those who know to prepare, we will prepare and share it. Or even maybe at a higher secondary or secondary level, we know that our students are much competent enough in preparing. The only thing that we should be in a position to select the most appropriate resource according to the designed learning outcome. This is what most important. If we are not emphasizing on the learning outcome, whatever resource we are preparing, that may not be useful. So whenever we look for either preparing or collecting resources, let us remind ourselves that for what purpose I need this. First one, what is the purpose of this resource? Why do I need this specific resource? I'm not going into any of the theoretical part and all, because TPAC and other frameworks are clearly talking about that. But let us keep in our mind, what is the purpose of this particular resource? Can I have a better resource? Better in the sense which helps to improve the involvement and participation of the learners, through which it can lead to better learning, or I can say the comprehensive learning, because we know we are all living in a specialized era. For everything we need to have specialized tools. But rather looking for a specialized tool, I would say if there is a tool which can provide you a comprehensive presentation, that would be better. So let us keep that in our mind. Rather looking for, because now and once I start maybe showing on some sample, obviously there will be different questions, and even almost all of you, I know you're all resourceful. You may be knowing, or you may be practicing, you may be using those softwares which are very comfortable for you. Go ahead with that. So in this session, actually, I'm going to present before you some two to three tools which we can use. And we know basically, where's my presentation? Yeah. Let me. Yes. So I'm just sharing. I hope you are able to see this. Yes. So let us focus on free and open source software in teaching of science. We are very clear about the popular FOSS tools. Thanks to Professor M.U. Piley to give us a beautiful canvas of popular FOSS tools. Most of you may be familiar with this. But the only question is, when we want to develop, when we want to create our own resource, the first question is, do I have the technical skill? Like I can understand that you had a session on H5P. H5P, we can see you have a website which comes under a category as ICT as a service. Similarly, we have PET simulations. There are different. So looking into the science, we can have different softwares dedicated to develop the content. Second, the websites or ICT as a service, some of these platforms which allows you to create in your account, and later either you can download or you can fill the links and make use of it. Then the third one, you may be having the softwares which helps you to create either online or offline. So most of us may be familiar with most of these, or at least we might have heard about these softwares. Why are we emphasizing on free and open source? That also we are familiar with, because we have the freedom. All the rights are given to the user. Even you had the Creative Commons licensing or the copy left, rights left to the user. In those who are using Ubuntu or Linux, we know that in Ubuntu Software Center, we are able to download different softwares. But when you have a software, the question would be, what is my technical skill, technology skill in developing that or in exploring that? So therefore, basically, the three softwares which we are looking into now, there may be, somebody is asking, there may be two web services, because even Stellarium, some of you are aware that Stellarium is giving you the web version also. Either you can download, install in your system and use it, or you can use it online. So the three softwares which we will be looking into, one is the Stellarium, another is Avogadro, and the third one PhET from Colorado University. And I would give some links. Other than this, some of the links and some of the websites I can just show you so that you can explore. Right. Now, talking about Stellarium, stellarium-web.org, you can download. You can see all these variants are available to download. It's a free and open source planetarium for your computer. Now, the physics teachers or chemistry teachers or even science teachers may think that we don't have astronomy to teach. So why should I use it? Now, NEP talks about multidisciplinarity, interdisciplinary knowledge. So it's not, let us don't confine Stellarium to astronomy or physics. Even a maths teacher can use it. Even a chemistry teacher can use it. For example, suppose the chemistry teacher would like to talk about fusion reaction, fission reaction. The teacher may connect it with stars. So Stellarium is one that you can download, as well as you can work on the web. It shows the realistic sky, taking the location in 3D. And we know as science teachers, we are all interested to develop a science hobby, which is nothing but sky watching. So sky watching is one of the interesting science hobby that we can insist. Even there may be sky watching clubs in schools or at the state. Those can be supported with this kind of softwares. We will look into that. See, for example, even the mobile app is available for Stellarium. I have just taken a snapshot of how exactly you can see that. Later we will explore. So right now I have shown you today 7:22. What would be my sky? Where will be Mars, Moon, Capella, Uranus? You can see there near Central University of Tamil Nadu. I have captured the location, and tonight maybe at 7:30 I can take the printout or I can use the mobile and I can compare, because most of the time when we look at the sky we will be focusing one star or a planet and we will be pointing. The observer may be looking at something else. So we can have the sky map and real-time verification is possible. And there are different, even there are different icons you can see at the down. We will explore that. So Stellarium. Now the question is, how will I use Stellarium as a resource? When you design a course or when you design a lesson, if there is a scope using Stellarium, if your outcome demands the use of Stellarium, then you use it. Now how to use? Either it can be used live, or I have to have the desktop application which is installed in my system, and I can go for capturing. I can create a video of the real sky or the augmented sky, and I can put it as a resource. Or I can take the snapshot, I can use it as an image. So these are some of the ways we can use. If you are taking directly to the session, then I can demonstrate what I'm going to do after maybe some 2-3 slides. Yes, Bhagyalakshmi ma'am.
Sir, if north is towards the down, towards its left, it is showing west.
There is west. West you can see. East, west, north, south.
Yeah, north is facing downwards now, sir.
Ma'am, that I'll show you. Don't worry. See, it is one of the vision, one of the angle in which I have taken the snapshot. I'll show you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Right, right. So the next one is Avogadro. Avogadro is basically a molecular editor and a visualizer, because basically we use ICT tools for higher order thinking skills. Lower order thinking skills almost will be possible through our traditional way. If somebody asks, why do I need to have ICT tool? One, ICT tools helps me to provide those experiences which I fail to provide in a traditional way. Second, in order to support the higher order thinking skills like analysis, visualization. So here, Avogadro we can download, install in our system, and helps us to develop the molecular models. Now looking back, maybe for secondary and senior secondary, or even at the elementary, the application may not be that much as we can see in higher education. Because the website itself says that this is very helpful in molecular modeling in bioinformatics, material science, and related areas. But we will see that. When I demonstrate, we ourselves will get some idea where can I use it. So this is one of the screenshots from Avogadro, which is a menu-driven software. A beautiful GUI, graphical user interface, is available. Only thing is that we need to explore the different menus so that we will be able to make use of. And this can be animated. This can be put it in different angle, different rotation, different orientation. All these are possible. But again, the question would be, sir, can I use it in class 9? So we have to think in class 9, because some of you say that, sir, these kind of structure, maybe the chemical bonds, hybridization, all these are not there in school level. Then why should I use it? I would suggest that you don't bother about that. When I am talking about NaCl, can I show NaCl structure? When I am talking about maybe the elements, is there any scope of showing the element structure, the bonding? I'm not talking about bonding, because at least when they give some visual and the angle, that they will keep in their mind because they have a visual experience. Whenever they come to that level, at least they'll be remembering, yes, my sir, my teacher has shown it long back. Something like forward looking. So if you ask directly, can I use it directly into the school? I may say that we may not have that much scope, but still it is a tool in our hand which we can decide how to use it, where to use it. That is basically ICT tool. It's not that I prepare a tool which I say that, okay, you can go and use it in class 8 science. There are websites like K12 Classroom, or even I'll show you. There are websites, they are doing that. They are preparing and putting under different headings. So Avogadro we will look into. And Avogadro, the beauty of the website is it gives you the detailed manual. You can see this is a screenshot of the manual. The introduction, drawing molecule, making selections, draw tool, navigate tool, bond centric manipulate tool. There are n number of tools which are available. So even if you don't have a scope in connecting to the real teaching, at least you can bring it into the classroom, maybe of class 9 or 10. They will have an exposure so that at least maybe in the higher classes they'll be able to use it. And the next one is PhET, PhET, from Colorado University, founded in 2002 by Nobel laureate Carl Wayman. They are interactive simulations. The beauty of this is that this can be used at any level of or any phase of teaching learning. Even if you are following constructivist or critical pedagogy, whatever approach you are following, you can easily connect it to any phase of teaching learning. There are different versions or different formats with which they have presented. Not only that, like GeoGebra, some of you may be knowing, you have a GeoGebra community. Similarly, here also you can see for teaching and resources, there are n number of plans, how to use the different PhETs, where to use, in which phase of teaching you can use. And this is an open, I cannot call it as an open source. Basically, they provide you thousands, more than thousands of simulations in different formats under physics, chemistry, maths, earth science, biology, in HTML5, JavaScript, or Adobe Flash. Now, most of us are experiencing the problem with Adobe Flash, right? So either the JavaScript, and the beauty of this is that we can download and install in our system all the simulations. It comes around 1.2 to 1.5 GB. All these can be downloaded and installed so that if you want to use it, you need not have an internet. Even if internet is not available, you can use the PhET simulation, but you have to download. If you are not able to download and install, then you can directly go to PhET website. There you can explore. There are different. I love it, and even I'm using it even at the degree level. I'm teaching integrated BSc B.Ed students. I'm using it for them. So these are the three which we are going to explore. And let me show you some of the links which gives you number of simulations, and this will be anyway coming into the course page so that you can explore it. Right. So with that, I'll stop my presentation and I'll go for the demonstration. If you have any queries or any doubts, you may please. Again, Bhagyalakshmi ma'am, you have raised the hand.
No, sir, not me this time.
Yeah. Meghalaya, from Meghalaya. Okay. Fine, fine. It doesn't mean that you don't have any doubts. You may have number of doubts. So let me stop sharing the screen now. Yeah. Fine. Any questions or any point you would like to add or delete? Can I go ahead?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Can you show me one simulation making? I don't know, it is from Dell. Fine. This is what I just mentioned in the beginning. The question is, how will you prepare a simulation? Simulation preparation, it's not so easy. Those who know maybe Java applet, GeoGebra, they know that you can prepare using some technique. You can prepare the ready-made sketches which can be run, which you can run. That's not exactly a simulation, but we call it as applet. You have Java applets. You have, now the question is, when you want to prepare a simulation, you need to have the technical knowledge, either Python or Java, those kind of programming knowledge is needed. Otherwise, it may become only either an applet or an animation. Here, I am not going to teach you how to prepare a simulation. Right. So Johnson sir, when we start using it, then we will have that out. Sure, that's all. So let me share the screen. So this is what the Stellarium website. Now, if you go to the web version, you can see the Stellarium web version. Now, Madam was telling the north is in down. Right. So why it would be the north showing in the down? You can see the west. I can rotate in any direction. And you can see there is a constellation art. This is one maybe while talking about the hobby, sky watching, the students may be interested. Right. Now I'll show the installed version. Let me show you. Yeah, I have Stellarium here. The other one is the web version. It's from stellarium.org.
కానీ బయట కనబడుతుంది అది కదా అది ఉండగా
You can see the browser only, right? Yeah. Now I think you can see this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now this is the installed version where you can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Because my Zoom screen has gone. Now there are different tools. It's not responding. Yeah, fine. I think you can see the Oculus general on-screen control panel. Then there are sensor view. You have eyepieces, lenses, sensors, telescope, and about. Right now, in this, I don't know why it's taking time. It has got some problem with the Zoom. System got stuck. Yeah. Now you can see the Earth, location window, date and time window. You can see sky and viewing option. You can click on that. There is a perspective eye. You can see the background, it's changing, sinusoidal. Then there are different, then markings. Yeah, yes. Landscapes, show the ground. I'm just removing. It's not showing the ground, it's showing the fog. Show the ground. Then go to Jupiter. Go to Mars. You can see the Mars ground. Minimal brightness. So there are different controls that we can use. This is
So
the
the video stuck, sir. We can't able to follow you back, sir.
yeah. No, I don't know whether, because even my Zoom panel I am not able to see. Now what I'm just
Things you have been telling, no, we can't able to follow you because that tools what I have been telling, we didn't see that in the screen, sir.
yeah, see, I hope you are able to see my screen.
But we do not see your controls, sir.
Sorry,
It is not clear, sir. It is faded.
that is what I don't know. Just 1 minute. Yeah. Now, even I have shared the screen, but I don't know why it is fading. Now, can you see Stellarium opening?
Yes, sir.
I can see the Buddha statue picture, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In the middle, it is opening, sir.
Yeah, in the middle, it's opening. Yes.
Yes, yes, sir.
Now can you see something? Because I can see.
Nothing, sir, now. Not visible.
But not allowing me to share the. It's not allowing me to share. So I think we will go to this. We'll go to the web version, right? So in the web version, I was telling you can explore the constellation art, the atmosphere you can see at around 8:31. This would be the sky, and the landscape you can avoid. You can keep the landscape, azimuthal grid, then equatorial grid. These are all higher level, azimuthal grid and equatorial grid. And you can keep it's a night mode, so that how exactly it will look like. But in the web version, your tools are less. Now you can see in this menu, there are not more options available. Now what I am doing, I am just zooming in so that I can see the different stars and celestial bodies. Polaris is in the north. Now the question was, madam was asking why it is going down. They just put the line, the north is here and you can see the Polaris. And if you come to the south, Betelgeuse you can see. So you can just make the students to explore depending on the need. Now we are going down. You can have the connection diagram, and which gives Ursa minor, Ursa minor, Ursa major. I hope this is visible for you. I'm just taking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Answer is there. So wherever it is needed, what you can do, we can take the screenshot and put it on content. Or might be on. So if you have a screen capture, then you can prepare a video using the screen. This is what possible according to the web version, and in desktop version there are a lot more options available. I don't know why it is not syncing with the screen sharing, because I am able to see that. So this can be, at least even if it is not the part of the course or the lesson, at least we can show it so that the students can explore and they can develop an interest towards the astronomy and astrophysics. Now the second one is PHET.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry for the interruption.
Yeah.
From Kerala, Saibu Austin, sir or madam, could you please mute your mic?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So this is the website phet.colorado.edu, where you can see the simulations. Yeah. Fine. Now, for example, you can see acid-base solutions, alpha decay, area filters. Now, let me take physics.
Prabhakar, sir. Please.
Those mics which are on, can you?
Prabhakar sir, can you hear us? Please put your mic mute. No sir, he is on move, I think. From the host side, someone has to mute him.
Yeah, I have muted. Fine. So these are the different simulations, and you can see here they have given whether what kind of simulation it is. It is a Java, and also Cheap J allows Java simulations to run in a browser. Now, let me show you one very simple thing. Maybe, for example, balancing act. Once you click on that, now you can see there are options. One, you can download. You can download this, and also if you have a, for example, if you are keeping a Moodle page for your course, you can embed it. You can embed this HTML code into your site, into your website, so that this simulation can be embedded. So these are the two ways which we can maybe personalize it, or else either you download in your system and use it. So when I click on this, it's getting loaded, and you can see there are 3 different options available. One is intro, another is the balancing lab, and another is game. So if I go to intro, let me click on that. You can see here it allows you with different options like show mass label, force from object, level. Okay, now position none. I can keep a ruler. So first, what I will be doing, if I am directly using this simulation, what I'll be doing, I'll be removing these pillars or the poles. Now let me take 5 kilogram and put it here. I can ask the students what is going to happen. Fine. Raju Barwa, yes, I'll explain. See, this is basically, you have a PhET simulation. They have listed different simulations. Now, I have selected a simulation called balancing act, right? It is a shockwave file. You can see here it is balance, proportional reasoning, and torque. They have given some hints. How can you use it? And you can see here, this can be directly connected to your Google Classroom. So this is one advantage we can tell to the teachers. You can connect it to the Google Classroom, or if you are using any other LMS, which is HTML based, you can go for embedding. Now, how to use it? Click on that. When I am clicking, it will get loaded. Now I'll click on the introduction. In this introduction, you can see in this particular page, you can see there are some options of showing and there are some options of positioning. So the question would be, I'm keeping 5 kilogram at this point. My question is, what should be the amount I should keep in the left side to balance it? So basically they say that I have to keep 5 kilogram. Fine. I have kept 5 kilogram. Will it balance? In a common sense, the students will be telling, yes, this will be balanced because 5 kilogram in the one side, 5 kilogram in the other side. Now let me remove this support. It is not balancing. So slowly the teacher can start discussion why it is not balancing, because I have kept both the same mass at both the sides, but it's not getting balanced. Now I can ask the students to try. Let me keep it here. I can ask the students to observe what is happening now. Earlier when I kept it here, what was the tilt? Now when I am keeping it here, what is the amount of tilt? And if I keep it here, what is happening?
Balanced.
It's balanced. So if I take maybe these 3 steps, will there be some learning, or will there be some hypothesizing from the students? You can just think of. I'm just showing one way of using it. Obviously, students will think that yes, it's not only the mass, even the length from the central point, or maybe even you can connect it to center of mass, center of gravity. You can connect it to different concepts. Right. Now, after showing these, I may go to balancing lab, which I can allow the students to do by themselves. Maybe I'll say, take the ruler. I'll say that 5 kilogram I'm keeping at 0.5. Now, what should be the amount I have to keep if I want to balance this at 1.25? 5 kilogram, I'm just keeping it 1.25. It's not balancing. If I keep 10 kilogram and I'm removing this, no. If I keep 10 kilogram at 0.5, no. I can balance it with, let me take this and keep it at, is it getting balanced? Now there is a level. I can check, yes, it is balanced. So 10 kilogram can be balanced by 5 kilogram. You just think of what kind of higher order thinking you can bring it with a simple concept. And then they can repeat by themselves by taking a game. So there are different kind of representations available in PhET, which you can select. Now let me show you another one.
Sir, I have some queries.
Yeah,
Sir.
please.
Yeah, sir, can you record the screen recorded the whole things, and can we export the thing to another interface or another platform like video? Can
Yes.
we do it?
Yes, you can do it.
Okay,
You can
sir.
go for a screencasting.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
You can go for the screen capture and you can do it.
Okay. And will there be any copyright issue like this?
Here there is no copyright problem.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
That is why I told, na, this you can download and install in your system, or you can explore in the website itself. If you are installing, you can use offline also. If you don't have an installed version, then you need an internet to open it. The battery rheostat, there are different bending of light, buoyancy, capacitors. You can see this. You can see the different, in addition to traditional mouse and touch inputs, learner can engage with sims using a diverse range of inputs, including keyboard and switch device. See, they are keep on improving. And here, Gravity Force Lab, you can see using screen reader software, diverse audio learners, including learners with vision impairment, engage alongside peer. Colorado is still working on this and helping us. Which library, sir? Johnson, sir? This library? Or which you are downloading?
Simulation, what you're showing right now? This is downloading, sir. Oh.
See, in the downloaded also, sir, there are two things they are giving. One, you can download all simulations with activities, or you can download only simulations. And the latest they give almost all the simulations which is available.
Okay, sir.
Right. So they are giving the voiceover, they are giving the support for these special children. All these are there. So according to your need, you can select, either you can download or you can embed in your Google Classroom or in your page so that teachers can use it. See, even the projectile motion. Right. So there is an introduction. Now initial speed is 15 meter per second. 10 meter is the height. Right. Now you are using pumpkin. What should I do? It's a normal. Right. So I have to click on so that the pumpkin get fired. The pumpkin get fired. Now you can see the time, range, height. It's 1 meters. Now air resistance I'm keeping. Now what happened when I'm keeping air resistance or drag coefficient? Now you can see the distance covered is less. Now there are different options. Vectors are there. Acceleration vectors. Let me click once again. Now you can see. Let me make it slow. How exactly the velocity and acceleration changes. Right? I'm just taking maybe cannonball. Mass is 17.6 kilogram. Diameter is 0.18. Now I'm not taking the air resistance. Let me fire it. Almost the same. I'm not taking this. Taking air resistance. You can see.
उधर नहीं लास्ट बट में वो क्या है इधर इधर एब्डोमिनल ऑर्गन विद हाँ
Biology, I'll show you. I'll show you biology. Biology, if I take, I'm checking physics. I'm selecting biology. So in biology, you have not specifically, maybe I know that you are looking for some dissection or anatomy kind of thing, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Small amount of biology simulations we have, sir, in that fit.
Sorry?
Small amount of biology simulations we have, sir.
Very small amount of biology.
Like physics, we have only less.
Sound, stretching DNA, sugar salt solution, simplify. Some maybe may not be, the pH scale is there. Natural selection. And you can see here, it's you need not blindly select this. You can see for teachers there is something. There is a small handout how to use this PhET, and you can see there is natural selection lesson by UTeach. There is a lesson script also. So the teachers can explore maybe this, and you can take some of the inputs and you can use it. So for example, when I click on this, so intro. Now what should you do? Population. I'll go for proportion. So population. add a mate. Okay. So it's just showing when the time is going on, how exactly it get reproduced. The number, and you can see the diagram, the generation. White fur, brown fur. You can see selected bunny. You can see the pedigree. You can see the proportion. Now let me reset. Wolves. I'm adding a mate. Now there is a wolf also. See what happened. When you allow a wolf or 2 or 3 wolves, all the bunnies have died. Now limited food. Adding a mate. Now what happened? So somehow they are surviving. Now the second generation has come, right? Still the second generation is able, or first generation is able to manage. Now what happens? So 2-3 generation will be able to manage. Now what happens? Now what is going on? Generation is getting increased. See. Now if you look at pedigree, and you can explain it. So there are different controls which is allowed it. You can explore, and as I was asking, what you can do, maybe you can go for a screencasting and convert it as a video. If you don't have a scope of using the simulation directly into the classroom. So similarly, I can show you these links I have given. This is one sites.google.com, which gives you different high school biology simulations, which are available from Pearson, McGraw-Hill and all. And this is another Wisconsin Wisc-online. It's an OER basically. There are different content available in different formats. You can see this is CC by NC, non-commercial, you can directly use. And you have science content, biology, chemistry, earth science, health science, physics. So if I click on chemistry, energy in chemical reaction. In this animated and interactive object, learner examine kinetic and potential energy. So you can just get a brief details about what is that content all about. Energy in chemical reaction. Yes, obviously. Again, Kishore sir, obviously these links will be provided, because anyway this the PowerPoint and all the links will be shared in the course page. Nothing to worry. Now another link is iwanttostudy.org. iwanttostudy.org is getting. There are interactive resources, because yesterday or I think morning you were talking about H5P. and you can create interactive content, especially interactive assessment and all. So this is basically, yeah, you can see open education resources. There are n number of resources, simulations available. You can download and make use of it. Vernier, this is from physics. Vernier caliper, screw gauge. Like that, there are n number. So similarly, one is interactive resources, how to use it, formative assessment. There are different resources you can explore. Suppose I go to biology. Somebody's mic is on.
Dr. Biju sir, your sound I thought.
Sorry, sir.
No name we have, sir, from where we are getting.
Yeah, I've muted. So may not be very specific to high school, but even or higher secondary, you can just check it. Another is this is a site which gives you an open educational resources and virtual labs. This link also I will provide. There are different links: physics, physical science and mathematics, life sciences. So this also will be helpful for you. Now iBiology.net is another which you can explore, population growth and all. This is another one. If, for example, bee waggle dance game, you can see here, beetle dissection, for example. Massbiologist.asu. So this is the dissection possible. Sure. All the links I will provide. So here you can have the scalpel, take it and you remove it. This is a male beetle, elytra removed. So it gives the explanation what exactly you have done. So I'm going for scalpel, remove this. Male beetle, elytra and wings removed. Now inspect. What is this? Thorax. Inspect. What is this? Abdomen. So like this, even you can bring these kind of experiences to the students. So these are some of the things which I thought I'll share. So if you have any other queries, I think this 3:30 is the time given to us. So what I request you that rather picking up some of these tools or softwares blindly, just have an idea for what purpose I need a simulation. Or say simulation, basically we know when we create a content, creating simulated content, either you need to know the Java or Python, those kind of programming we need to have basic knowledge. And let me show you Avogadro. I hope it will allow me to share. You can see the shortcut in my screen, Avogadro. I'm clicking on that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Clicking on Avogadro. Now, as I told, this may be directly useful for a high school or secondary or senior secondary. So what are the things available here? you can select maybe, for example, hydrogen. Okay, then click on the draw tool. What it says, left mouse, click and drag to create atom and bonds. Right mouse, you can delete the atom. So I have to come to this space and click atom has created. Now right mouse button, I can delete. Now I am clicking carbon. Carbon, when I take, you can see carbon has created. Now what is available for me? The next tool is allow you to rotate carbon in different direction. What is next? I can have bond centric manipulation tool. Show angle. So I can go for it. You can just see there is an angle showing. Then I can go for taking into different direction. See, if it was very small in size, so I just increase the size. Then you can see there is another tool which allows you to rotate. There is another tool. So display setting, if I go, you can see the axis, label, you can see C, H2, H4, all these. So you can select according to the different surfaces. You can select van der Waals spheres, you can select wireframe. So there are different display options. Tool setting, there are different tool settings available. Now what you can do, you can go to file, you can save it. And as you know, when you are saving it, it will be saved as a source file. And if you want to export, you can export it as a graphic. You can export it as a graphic. It will be a PNG file, or even you can take a BMP or JPEG file. So I'll say carbon. And you can use it in your, maybe in your presentation or video, wherever it may be. There are different menus: file menu, edit, view, build. Then select, extensions are available, crystallography is available, add unit cell. So if maybe at class 11, 12 when you are handling, they may have a base idea about the unit cell and all, unit cell and lattice parameters that can also be integrated here. So but at the school level, the scope would be less. Somebody is asking something. So Avogadro also you can explore. You can increase the size of the atom. You can increase the size of the atom. You can increase the bond length. It's just like maybe playing with the different controls. Those who know maybe GIMP and all, they'll be having easy access to this. Only thing, any menu driven softwares, my request is please explore all the different menus so that you'll be able to learn by yourself. But can the structure be, yes, can the structure be optimized to experimental data? Can you just clarify that? Experimental data in the sense? Jyoti? What experimental data you are talking? X-ray data. You can explore crystallography, right? Go to crystallography, import crystal from clipboard. You can build space No, crystallography as such you may not be, but in the extension you can explore. There are different extensions available: optimized geometry, molecular mechanics. There are higher end. So because I don't have that much knowledge about what exactly you are explaining, but X-ray crystallography data details may not be directly available, but through the extension you will be able to use it.
Excuse me, Mr. Sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, can we have a video file using this Avogadro or only JPG or PNG files? Can we make video files?
It allows you to export, see, graphics, vector graphics, ray diagram. Again, it is .png, it's coming. So video basically was allowing for orientation. Rotations are possible. See, can go for rotation, and that can be captured. Other than that, as a video, you may not be able to save it.
Sir, you mean screen captured?
Yes.
Isn't it?
Again, yes. No, this is not screen captured. This is the rotation possible within the Avogadro. If you want to take it out as a video, see, again, when you go for save as, CML file you can, Avogadro file you can have. But other than that, you need specific softwares. So may not be a VLC or MP4 file, not possible.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Sorry. See, this is what the rotation. Now I'm changing X rotation, Y rotation, increasing Z rotation. So there is a rotation option. Reset. Now X, Y, Z are in the same. Now I'll go for start. So it is in the Z rotation. I change Y. I change X. Now you can see the lattice type is cubic, space group unknown, unit cell volume is 27 angstrom unit. So it gives the details. So you can just explore and you'll get idea, because again, basically how far it can be used at the school level, we have to think. But there are other platforms like websites or the links which allows you to get these kind of interactive simulations or applets. Java applets are there. N number of Java applets are available for physics. If you just search, maybe my favorite is, let me share it. Some of you may be familiar with that. Satyendra Nath. I just gave. His name is Satyendra, Java applets in physics. There are n number of applets available. This can be explored again. Avogadro, okay. How to download Avogadro, right? You can visit the website Avogadro. This is Avogadro.cc is the website. This is the website. You can go to download. Go to download. You can download whichever OS you have. You can download it. And you can install. Or you can get it from GitHub. There is a manual available. See, draw tool, navigating tool, building supercell, all these are available. You can just visit when and then and there needed, and you can do it. Any other questions? Virgin sir? So any question or any addition or any deletion? Even all these you can prepare, and maybe you can use it in Flipgrid or Spiral. There are different platforms, online platforms available where you can connect all these either in Flipgrid or Spiral. There are different platforms which are coming, very interesting. Some of you may be aware of Flipgrid, may be using it. Flipgrid is from Microsoft. You can they themselves added so many tools. Spiral is another interesting, especially for constructivist based teaching learning. So I think now it's time for you to prepare, right? Right? Nobody is talking.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sir.
So I think then we will join back. We will leave the breakout room and we'll be joining back to the main.
How to join, sir?
No,
Okay, sir.
when you click on the leave the room, you will have two options. One is leave breakout room. Click on that. Not the entire meeting, because from the main meeting you came to this.
Okay. So actually, the tools what you have told are very awesome. It's I mean, we need to try it.
That's all, sir. We can try ourselves and let us find out different ways and let us share among ourselves so that each one will be getting better.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Could you share some